Greetings, Coursera family. This is Will Ozier from Stone Mountain, Georgia, USA. This video demonstration is on my understanding and takeaways from this past week's lesson. And I'm going to demonstrate compression. I will use Adobe Audition 3.0 for this demonstration. Adobe Audition is not really technically a DAW. It is more of an audio editor. But I use it for a lot of my recordings, especially to take a raw recording and make it a little bit more crisp and pristine, a little bit more professional sounding. I also use it to when I have pre-recorded drum loops or waves from different construction kits like Big Fish Audio or whatever, and I use them to kind of tweak those drum loops to make them sound a little differently than they came in the package. What I have here is a drum beat that I recorded from a Core keyboard. Let's listen to a little bit. And as you can see, this wave is peaking right up to the ceiling and has, it's well into the red. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of compression on it. Click Effects, go down to Amplitude and Compression, and then go down to Multiband Compressor. I'm going to click Classical Master, and as you can see, Multiband Compression has 4 different bands. This particular multiband compressor has 4 different bands. Each band controls a different frequency spectrum. This one is from 20 to 120, 120 to 200, 2000, and 2000 to 10,000, and 10,000 to 20. And you can tweak each one of them with different threshold, gain, ratio, attack, release controls. Pretty neat, right? It's good for drums. It's good for a lot of different things, but it's really good for drums where you have everything on there. You have the kick drum, you have the snare, hi-hats, and so forth and so on. So listen to the Classical Master preset. As you can see, it's brought it down quite a bit. It's not letting things go over that threshold. Let's listen to it without. It's really just keeping things from peaking. That's really all. There's not a whole lot you can hear. Like I said, compression is very difficult to hear. Okay, we're gonna stop that one, and we're gonna put on something else like Pop Master. See how that sounds. Now that sounds a lot different. I can hear the snares are different. The kick is coming through a little bit more too. It's a little tighter. I like that one. Okay, we're going to cancel that one out. Okay, and we're going to try a different effect. We're going to try a tube model compressor. Now the tube model compressor is a little different. It doesn't have all the 4 different compressors for each bandwidth. So, it's going to squeeze everything down. And we're going to use old school, real heavy compression so we can hear the difference between a compressed track and an uncompressed track. Almost New York sounding. Such heavy compression. Totally different, right? Okay. Another thing I like to do is use a mastering suite, which is more of an expander than a compressor, but it does compress as well. And I use subtle clarity. That really brings out that snare. So you see it peaks, but it's not going into the red. I don't know. I love using compressors because they really make the sound a lot different from what you start off with. But compression is one of the hardest effects to hear. Reverb, delay, distortion, filters, chorus, and phase shifting all are relatively easy for me to hear. I've been a guitarist for almost 40 years now, and I've used all those effects. I've even used compressors in my guitar pedal rack, but I used it for a different thing. I used it to try to get that more Hendrixy sound in a solo, to try to get a more even tone on the solo. But after I started working with DAWs, I started using compressors a lot differently. And now that Loudon has really broke it down with the threshold, release, and attack, and I really understand that now. I'm really going to have a lot of fun with compression. All right, this is Will from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Talk to you soon.